president calls for an immigration overhaul. Hello, everybody. I'm Jane Skinner. President Bush has announced a new initiative that could allow millions of workers a chance to stay legally in the U.S. The temporary worker program's key component is the 3-year renewable guest visa for people who line up a job before entering the country. Recipients of that visa and their families could wind up becoming citizens. A winter blast is slamming the country from coast to coast. Almost a foot of snow has fallen on upstate New York, and another 2 to 3 feet is expected today. The snow, combined with cold temperatures, it's causing slick and frozen roads and dozens of traffic accidents. In Seattle, tens of thousands of people are without power after that city's worst snowstorm in about 7 years. In Iraq, U.S. troops arrest at least 4 people in raids north of Baghdad. Witnesses say one raid was aimed at the house of the daughter of Iraq's former interior minister who's in U.S. custody. They also say one of the minister's relatives was arrested. 3 more people were arrested in homes nearby. A mixed bag on the financial markets today as tech stocks climb while the blue chips fall. Let's take a look at the numbers. Dow's down about almost 40 points, the NASDAQ up about 14, and the S&P is down not quite 1. Neil's going to be along at the top of the hour, and he's going to tell you about this word of a possible plea deal for Enron executives.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
One could possibly go to prison for 10 years, and his wife would go for a few months or so.
Neil's studio is also cold.
Not like this.
It's
I said
cold.
we could just open the windows in here. It feels
I wish
like.
we could. We have bulletproof windows, thankfully.
Why do we need to? It feels like it in here.
It's
what
chilly.
Is it, 9 today? 9? 10 degrees?
Yeah, I think it went down to 20 maybe.
The only good thing, there's no wind chill in here, so the temperature is the temperature.
That's true, except when we're all fighting.
Yeah. Well, then
What
it's
else?
hot air.
What else?
Right.
Hot air, that's true.
Yeah.
What else?
How about Joe Gibbs?
Joe Gibbs.
Well, I don't know.
how
We have a lot of
Snyder got him
football
back
fans
there.
out there. Well, a lot of money probably, right?
Yeah.
They were talking about this coach of the Redskins. Have you talked about that
Who
already?
took him to some Super Bowls, and
Yeah, 3.
yeah, and Spurrier's out, and I guess Joe Gibbs is back.
Well, 3 winning. Did they go to more than 3? Maybe
think
they
that-
won 3 and then went to more than 3.
All I know of is the 3.
I don't know.
They won, I think they went to them.
Those
and
are
they
the
won them all.
glory years.
There were 4, and they won 3 of them.
And they won
says
3 of them.
Jib Man James. Thank you, James.
So that's got to be pretty exciting.
Kind of exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
As
So
far as I know, Tommy Tuberville's going nowhere, which makes me happy.
That's all I got.
Yep.
Eli Manning's going somewhere, though.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Hope he becomes a New York football giant. Oh, my. Thank you, Skins.
Bye. You'd have
See
to
ya.
quit your job.
Yeah, I would. Maybe it's cold outside, very cold. Wind chill here in Nueva York, single digits. There are freezing temperatures now across much of the nation, from west to east, all across the top, but then there's Miami. Wow. That's Biscayne Bay right on the 79th Street Causeway at about, what, 1401 79th Street, I think it is, the home of WSVN 7, and that's the backyard of our local Fox station there. Beautiful Biscayne Bay. Only a handful of cities where the temperatures are in the 60s and 70s, but you can always count on Miami. That's the minority. Terry Casey's live in Boston, where it is frigid. Hello, Terry.
It's cold, Shep, but you know, Miami is the place to be. Temperatures, as you mentioned, in the 70s, and the cold weather will not get down into southern Florida. So if you want to take a trip, that's the place to be. Notice the temperatures out there right now, 26 in New York City, teens in single numbers across the northern plains. This is actually a little bit warmer than it has been, so that's some good news, but the cold core of air is moving off to the east and the southeast. Temperatures this morning over the southeast, teens and 20s. Pretty cold stuff for this time of year, and it's not going anywhere. Factor in the wind, although it's not too windy across the northeast. Feels below 0, -8 in Saranac Lake, only 12 degrees in New York City with the wind. Farther off to the west, we have single numbers and right around 0. But as I mentioned, temperatures are slowly warming up over the Midwest, but another cold shot of air will begin to move in over the next couple of days, and it gets even colder for this weekend, anywhere from Maine all the way down into the southeast and much of the Mid-South as well. That's where temperatures will be some 15 to 30 degrees below normal for this time of year. Other big story we talked about, the storm system in the Pacific Northwest dropping anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow, places like Seattle, right down into Portland, and it looks like this type of weather will continue for the next couple of hours, but the big storm system is moving off to the east, so that's some good news. It will affect places over the northern Rockies and into the northern mountains of the Pacific Northwest. As you can see, the system is moving eastward right now, and we are expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 feet in the northern Rockies. So that's the other big story. And Shepard, the cold, which will continue right into the big weekend, Saturday night, probably the coldest from New York City, Philly, and right up into Boston. Temperatures in Boston could dip below zero for the first time in 10 years over this upcoming weekend. So, Shep, pretty cold stuff.
Just in time for a big football game in Foxborough.
That's right.
Wouldn't you know
right. It will be cold. Temps in the single numbers to right around zero at game time.
Yeah, that won't make the tickets any cheaper. Terry, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.